Top 10 Celebrity Feuds of All Time. Welcome to our list of the top 10 celebrity feuds of all time. From the famous to the infamous, these celebrity showdowns have been the talk of the town over the years, and they've got enough drama to keep us entertained for days. We'll start off with the feud between music icons Jay-Z and Nas, and then move on to the never-ending rivalry between the Kardashian family and Amber Rose. We'll also take a look at the epic battle between Taylor Swift and Kanye West, as well as the ongoing feud between Paris Hilton and Lindsay Lohan. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Number 1. Jay-Z versus Nas. The feud between Jay-Z and Nas is one of the most legendary in hip-hop history. It all started in the mid-90s when Jay-Z released his debut album Reasonable Doubt, which featured the song Takeover. In the song, Jay-Z took shots at Nas, accusing him of biting his style and not being as successful as himself. Nas responded with a series of diss tracks, including Ether, which criticized Jay-Z's career. The feud went back and forth for years, but eventually fizzled out, and the two rappers have since reconciled and even recorded music together. Number 2. The Kardashian family versus Amber Rose. The ongoing feud between the Kardashian family and Amber Rose has been going on for years. It all started when Amber Rose began dating rapper Kanye West in 2008. At the time, Kanye was still close with the Kardashian family, and they were not happy when they found out about their relationship. Things escalated when Amber Rose accused Kim Kardashian of having an affair with Kanye while he was still dating her. This caused a huge rift between Amber Rose and the Kardashian family, and they've been feuding ever since. Number 3. Taylor Swift versus Kanye West. Taylor Swift and Kanye West feud is widely regarded as one of the most high-profile and publicized celebrity rivalries of all time. Kanye West's interruption of Taylor Swift when she was accepting an award at the MTV Video Music Awards in 2009 marked the beginning of everything. He stated that Beyoncé deserved to have been the one to take home the trophy rather than Taylor. This resulted in a significant scandal and set the two musicians on a path toward a bitter rivalry that has persisted for more than a decade. Although they have made amends, their feud will go down in history as one of the most famous celebrity competitions of all time, despite the fact that they are now friends. Number 4. Paris Hilton versus Lindsay Lohan. One of the most enduring feuds between two celebrities is the one that has been going on between Paris Hilton and Lindsay Lohan. When Lindsay Lohan made the accusation that Paris Hilton had taken her boyfriend in 2004, the whole thing began. The conflict lasted for several years, during which time the two individuals never stopped attacking one another, either in interviews or on social media. The enmity between the two parties finally subsided, but they have not made amends with one another, and their competition continues unabated. Number 5. Chris Brown versus Drake. It's safe to say that Chris Brown and Drake's fight is one of the most rising celebrity feuds of the past few years. It was in 2012 when Chris Brown and Drake got into a fight at a nightclub in New York City. Drake was the one who began everything. This ultimately resulted in a string of diss tracks, as well as a fight on social media between the two musicians. The dispute was eventually put to rest, but the parties involved have never made amends with one another, and their competition is still going strong. Number 6. Nicki Minaj versus Cardi B. The rivalry between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B is one of the most strong and widely discussed celebrity feuds of the recent past. When Cardi B accused Nicki Minaj of trying to destroy her career in 2017, the feud between the two women began. This ultimately resulted in a series of diss tracks as well as a fight on social media between the two rappers. The rivalry was eventually put to rest, but the relevant parties have never patched things up with one another, and their battle is still alive and kicking. Number 7. Justin Bieber versus Orlando Bloom. In recent years, one of the celebrity feuds that has received the most coverage and attention is the one that involves Justin Bieber and Orlando Bloom. It was in 2014 when rumors began to circulate that Orlando Bloom had punched Justin Bieber in the face during a fight that broke out in a nightclub in Ibiza. Because of this, the two celebrities engaged in a public feud on social media, as well as a slew of diss tunes. The conflict was eventually swept aside, but the persons involved have never tried to make amends with one another, and their competition is still running great. Number 8. Mariah Carey versus Jennifer Lopez. Mariah Carey and Jennifer Lopez have been involved in one of the most contentious feuds in the history of celebrity rivalry. Jennifer Lopez made the initial accusation against Mariah Carey in the early 2000s, stating that the latter had stolen her style and copied her music. This ultimately resulted in a string of diss tracks, as well as a fight on social media between the two musicians. The dispute was eventually put to rest, but the relevant parties have never maintained contact with one another, and their competition is still holding strong. Number 9. Nicki Minaj versus Remy Ma. Nicki Minaj and Remy Ma have been engaged in one of the most contentious and heated feuds in the world of fame over the past few years. In 2016, Remy Ma published a diss single directed towards Nicki Minaj, which was the beginning of everything. This ultimately resulted in a string of diss recordings, as well as a fight on social media between the two rappers. The dispute was eventually put to rest, but the parties involved have never made amends with one another, and their competition is still running strong. Number 10. Rihanna versus Chris Brown. The feud between Rihanna and Chris Brown is one of the most talked about celebrity rivalries of all time, and has been ongoing for more than a decade. It all started in 2009 when Chris Brown was accused of assaulting Rihanna during a heated argument, resulting in her being taken to the hospital and him being arrested. Since then, the two have engaged in several public and social media feuds, with both of them releasing diss tracks and taking shots at each other on Twitter and Instagram. Despite efforts to settle their differences, the two have never officially reconciled, and the rivalry has remained strong. In recent years, Rihanna has become the more vocal of the two, often speaking out against Chris Brown and calling him out for his past behavior. While neither of them have made any concrete moves to end the feud, it's clear that the two are unlikely to reconcile anytime soon. That's all for today. We hope you enjoyed this list, and if you have any suggestions for future lists, be sure to leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.